may have heard about lawsuits going on against the FAA representing hobbyists and modelers alike in their interpretive rule for Section 336 of the FAA Modernization and Reform Act. I'm Alex Grieve, president of the FPVTA, and I am here to inform you what is going on the legal front. Despite the petition by many modelers and hobbyists alike, as well as many people for commercial purposes, putting many comments in on the special rule asking the FAA to rescind it, they did not do so, and the deadline to rescind that was October 1st. So now it goes to court. There are 3 lawsuits representing different facets of SUAS operations. The first, which you might be familiar with, is the AMA. The AMA's lawsuit states that we are asked to fly within visual line of sight. The law that Congress set says within visual line of sight, not by way of. And the FAA is saying that means by way of. No, it does not. And we know that, which is why we're fighting it in court. And the FPVTA is 100% behind the AMA's lawsuit. However, there are other lawsuits. One of them is the Koger lawsuit. This one represents 180 universities. Well, and you might ask yourself, why are universities getting involved? Simple. UAVs are the future. They're the future of aviation. It's here. And we need to be training people how to fly them, how to build them, how to operate them, how to design them, what they're good for, and develop the technology. How can a university help develop this technology for our young generation if we can't allow them to fly? And that's their standpoint, is that they don't necessarily want it for profit, but you know, there are countries all over the world. Hong Kong for the protests. The US Olympics were filmed by drone aircraft. There's even a drone aircraft that is designed to carry an AED in heavily populated areas where you can't get an ambulance through, increasing the survival rate 20-fold. In fact, Canada has no restrictions on aircraft under 2 kilograms. Yet we have restrictions here in this country. So what's really the risk? Well, aren't we supposed to be the greatest country in the world? Aren't we supposed to be the head of technology? Well, how on earth can we be the head of technology if we can't develop it? That's what Koger represents. Let us teach and develop the technology in our younger generation so the US is still a power in technology. Of course, the other is the commercial front, or the UAS fund. This is simply a lawsuit filed by commercial entities, including Lumineer and GetFPV, which you might be familiar with. And what they're simply saying is, it's okay to pass laws, but you can't put a blanket statement on all SUAS operations and say it's illegal. Many of us have legitimate businesses doing aerial photography or crops observation or other things that were completely legitimate businesses that you have now turned all of us into criminals. And that's absolute garbage. So if you support that, that's the SUAS fund. However, recently, it has come to the decision that they are all asking for the interpretive rule interpretation to be rescinded. And now all 3 of those lawsuits have combined into one lawsuit. That is excellent, because not only do we have the modelers and the AMA, but we've got the universities and commercial entities all fighting for your right to fly against the FAA. This is great news, and with hopes they'll win. Because, as you know, the future is now, and it's about time the US caught up with the rest of the world. So to support this effort, the FPVTA is donating $1,000 to the AMA to help with their efforts. And should they need more, we will be happy to open our wallets and donate more. And we are not asking anything from you except that you be aware of what's going on. Should you want to support one of them, feel free to do so. We would be glad to help, because there will be many fights beyond this down the road. Which do you want to support? It depends on what your interest is. If you are a commercial entity, you want to support the SUAS fund. If you are a hobbyist, it is the Academy of Model Aeronautics. And if you like them for research purposes and search and rescue, as well as education, you are looking at Koger. I'm Alex Grieve, President of the FPVTA, and keep your wings in the sky.